Today I'm going to be talking about something that is usually the most frustrating to get started with, and then once you understand how to use it, can be the most rewarding and one of the most used tools that you'll use in Illustrator, the pen tool. So even though we're normally working in Illustrator, today we're working in Gravit. The pen tool is available in either one of those programs, but Gravit is a really good program because you have access to this without having to have a subscription to Adobe or having a computer that can handle it. So it is something you can do on a Chromebook. Okay, so we're at the Gravit website here, and I want to show you. So this is the pen tool. Now, one of the questions you might be asking is, why would I use the pen tool? What are the situations that I would try to use this in? So if I was trying to make a specific thing, like we were talking earlier about Doritos and how red Doritos, original Doritos, are significantly better than Cool Ranch Doritos. So this logo here, somebody made this, and they didn't just have a bunch of images on the internet that they could go and pull from to create this. Somebody had to draw this out and create it in some type of software, and so we are trying to be that person to be able to make something. So I'm going to focus on just this little triangle right here, this little orange and yellow triangle. So if I wanted to make something that looked like that, I could use the pen tool. And the pen tool is going to make lines using what are called anchor points. Right? So when I click and let go, I get an anchor point that pops up, that little dot there. And so when I click again and let go, then I get another anchor point, and it draws a line between those. Okay? And at first we're just focusing on straight lines. So all I have to do is click and let go, and it gives me those dots. Click and let go, and click and let go. And now I have made a shape. So Gravit has a bunch of options for some shapes, like circles and squares and things like that you can make, but we wanted to have this specific logo, this specific design, and so we can do that using the pen tool. Okay. Now I'm looking at this though, and I'm seeing, this anchor point here is kind of in the wrong place. So I want to move that just a little bit. So if I go up here, you have your pointer tool, which this is called the select tool and the direct select tool in Illustrator. So just kind of watch the phrasing a little bit. But if I go here, I've got a pointer tool, and I also have a sub-select tool. The sub-select tool lets you mess with individual anchor points. I can just click on this one anchor point and move just that one piece. So as I click on this, on that anchor point, I can move it down like this. Now I've got a triangle. I can do it like this. And so I've got a completely different composition based on what I'm doing using the direct select tool or the sub-select tool. I'm going to try and teach both phrasing because it's important for you to know the vocabulary of what it's called in Illustrator. Okay. I also have the pointer tool. The pointer tool allows me to select. I just clicked on it to select it, and I can move all of the pieces at once. All right. Or I can take it, and if I want to rotate it, I can rotate it to get that kind of angle that we were looking for earlier. Okay, so that's great. That's awesome. I'm making a shape. I'm drawing stuff out. I can do, we can make squares and all kinds of stuff like that using these straight lines. All right. So that everything I did there was just click and let go. I just made a dot, and it automatically drew a line between them. All right. But let's say that I'm doing a design more like this Taco Bell logo. Okay, Taco Bell logo, we do have some straight lines down here, but then we also have all of these curves in here, all right? So I'm going to actually copy this image. Right-click, copy image, and on a Chromebook, you'll need to hit Alt and click to get that option to pop up, this option right here. Copy image. I'm going to go back over to my Gravit tab, and let's paste. Control-V is a shortcut to paste. All right, so if I wanted to draw this out, go to my pen tool, and I can start at a point here, click, and then you want to get to about the top of the curve up here, and I'm going to click and drag out, and that gives me that curve. Let's do it right about here. Okay, I'm doing this kind of fast because I want to move on. Okay, so that's not exactly it, but you can see where with a little bit of modification I might be able to make something that looks kind of similar to that. So here again is an example of a logo that somebody made. Somebody created this logo just like they did the Doritos logo. And so you're not just, anytime you're doing something like that, you're going to want to have the ability to get an image and create something that's started with nothing. All right. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to select this. So that's great. How did I do that? I just made a curve. I'm showing you when you might use this. Now I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. So click on Pen Tool. First click, I suggest you just click and let go. There is a reason you would click and drag, but usually, especially when we're getting first started, I suggest on that first click you just click and let go. All right. On your next click, click and hold the mouse or the selection on your Chromebook. All right. And then without letting go, you're holding onto the mouse here, and you're going to drag it out. Okay. As you drag it out, these little blue bars will pop up. Okay. These are called handles. So the handle shows you the trajectory. All right. So if I were to do, let me bring it back here. So the handles show you the trajectory. So think about like the flight path of a rocket or something like that. Okay. So here's a point and here's a point. How is it going to get there? What's the path it's going to follow to get there? And so when you click that second point, it just goes, well, you were doing this on this side, so surely you want that on this side. So let me go back over here. So that means that I click here, that's one point. That's another point, and I clicked and drag out here. These handles show me the trajectory. So if I were to just go over here and click, then I'm getting click and drag again, right? And I get different options. Or if I just click and let go, then that gives me, now I'm back to having a straight line because I don't have any handles on this one. Okay? So first click, just click and let go. Then you click and drag, and then if you want to, you can put that there, or I'm going to show you how to change. You can also change it if you want to have it where it's a straight line here after you've drawn it out. You can go back and click on the anchor point, and this works in Illustrator too. Click on the anchor point, and now I'm back to having a straight line. All right, real quick, I had to jump in here. Sorry for the quick transition here. As I was editing the video, I realized that I had not actually shown you guys how to do something that is very, very important. And so I was watching the video and saw me doing something. I do this sometimes where I forget to actually say out loud what it is that I'm doing. So what I want to show you is how to undo something. You may have seen in the video just a second ago where like I clicked here, and then I was doing this, and then I just did that. And then I was clicking here, and I'm clicking here, and then I just did that. And you're like, wait a minute, what just happened? Why is it just going away like that? So I was trying to show you different angles and things that you could do and different techniques, all going back to this point right here. So as I did something, I would undo that thing. All right. So the way that you undo something, and this is something that is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely vital to know how to do in Illustrator, in Gravit, in anything, and that is to do Control Z. Control Z is the same thing as Edit Undo. I don't know what it is. Let's see, Edit. Yeah. So if you go up to the top here and you choose Edit, then you have an option to do Undo option there. Or the shortcut for that is Control Z. If you go up to Edit, you can see where the shortcut is. And that's exactly what it's like in Illustrator. Okay. So usually when I'm designing, I have one hand on the mouse and one hand on Control Z, because a lot of times I'll be doing something and then you click something, you're like, no, that's not what I wanted to do, and then you undo it. All right. So I'm clicking. No, I messed up. Control Z. Okay, so I'm trying to, no, I don't like that. No. There, okay, yep, now, okay, kind of like a strange pie graph. All right, so anyway, man, that's not working. I don't like that. Control Z. Oh, you know what? I loved it. It was perfect the way it was. Control Shift Z. Okay, Control Z does undo. Control Shift Z does redo. All right, so that's just a quick little thing I was doing in the video that I didn't actually explain to you, so I wanted to kind of cut in here real quick and talk about that. So back to the video. All right, so now what I want to show you is I want to show you how, when you're drawing a line, if you want to stop making that line within the program, and it's not a closed off shape. Okay, so the assignment that we're doing where we're drawing different animal designs, it's important to know, like, okay, now I need to stop and make a new line. So I've got my pen tool selected. I click, and I'm just drawing out my shape, whatever it is that I want to draw. And then I go, you know what, I'm done with this. I don't want to keep drawing. I need to make another line. Okay, it's a little complicated because it's a little different than what it is in Illustrator. But the best way that I have found to do that is to go click on the selection tool and then click off of that, off the thing that you just drew, and then go back to the pen tool and draw again. Okay. There is a shortcut. If you hover over the mouse, it will tell you, if you click the arrow, it'll show you. The shortcut for that is the letter V. So if I was drawing, sorry, there's a bunch of windows that keep popping up here. Alright, so if I was drawing with the pen tool, and I am done drawing, and I hit the letter V, that is the same thing as selecting that pointer tool again. And I can go back and draw new shapes. Okay? So, let me do all of those things again really quick. I'm going to select all of these and delete them. So, the way the pen tool works, if you click and just let go and make an anchor point, and you keep clicking, it will make a straight line. If you click and drag, it will make a curve. And you can continue to have that curve in whatever style that you want, okay? But if when you drag out, you don't like the curve, you like this, but now I want to go back to having a straight line, you can click on the anchor point, and it will drop that handle. It keeps this one going that way, but now I'm back to having a straight line. Okay? And then I can either close off the shape like that, and now I'm free to do whatever I need to do. Or if you wanted to start a new line, then you can go click on the mouse on the selection tool, click off of it, and go back, and now I can keep drawing. Okay? And right there, the reason that disappeared is because I made a shape, and so it filled it in with a white color. Okay? So I realize that I'm just drawing kind of nonsense shapes, and honestly, sometimes I like to just draw things. Okay? I'll start using the pen tool and just start drawing things and see what I come up with. All right? These are all just lines that I've been doing here. When I do this assignment, the other part of this that I've given you is those pen tool animals that you have, specific animals that I want you to try and trace. So tracing something, like I was tracing the Taco Bell logo, or I was trying to recreate the Doritos logo, tracing things is one of the best ways to learn how to use the pen tool. Okay, very similar to what it is in Illustrator, but also different. So we'll look at those differences when we get started in Illustrator. But yeah, and so then the other thing I showed you was the black arrow, or the selection tool, or whatever they call it in Gravit. That moves all of the pieces at the same time. Okay, the white arrow, or the direct select tool, moves just one piece. So I can move just one piece. And you see how the relationship of that curve still stays in place. The handle stays the same even when I move it around. Okay, so the angle between this point and this point and this point and this point, that math is staying the same. All right, and it changes based on where the end point is. Okay. So that's the white arrow or direct select tool, and then the black arrow, pointer, whatever Gravit calls it. Okay, and then you can also use this if you want to delete things. So I can use that to select it and delete. Okay, or if I click and drag, then it'll select everything that's in that box, and I can delete. Okay, so hope that helps. I tried to make a video that you could watch and pause and rewind on the places that give you trouble. So hopefully that helps, and we'll go from there.